Welcome back to Studio 5. Can you count the ways? Look at that, layers and layers and layers of flavor. It's almost unbelievable that such a fancy looking cake is totally doable in your home kitchen. Kara Westergaard is joining me to share the recipe for this elegant crepe cake. Have we counted the layers? Do we even know?
I think there's 30.
Oh my gosh, it looks like a lot more than that. Very impressive. How easy is this on the doable scale, really?
You know, it really is easy. It just takes a little time. So you want to get your podcast ready and just get those layers going.
All right, a crepe cake.
A crepe cake.
What components go into this? Obviously crepes.
Right, so I think most people have learned to make crepes at home by now. And I'm not going to demonstrate the crepes today because I think everybody can do it. It's just easy. You put it all in a blender and you can let it set for an hour in the fridge or overnight if you want, or honestly, I've done it just right away without letting it sit and let the gluten develop.
You use a crepe maker, I assume.
I do, so I just brought one real quick to just kind of show. You can get one of these on Amazon or probably many other places as well.
Sure.
But it's so easy, you just dip it into the batter. It comes with a little dish that you dip it in, makes it nice and uniform in size for
and
a crepe
really
cake.
thin, which is what we want, right?
And and nice and thin with this. If you don't have one of these, you don't want to buy one, get your smallest pan out. This one's my favorite crepe pan if I'm not using this. They're about the same size, see? And it's just...
And just lift the edges and keep it thin.
All
right, so we've got our crepe layers. You say only 30. I swear that looks like a million. That is amazing to, I mean, I would stare at it and dissect it with my eyes before I even tasted it, but knowing you, it's gonna taste amazing. What else do we have on the table?
Okay, so I'm actually gonna share with you the filling recipe that I have for this cake. This one is a lemon cake, a lemon crepe cake, and it's so good. And what you want to keep in mind with your fillings, there's so many different ways that you can go with these crepe cakes, but you want to make sure that you have something that is able to kind of stabilize and set, and that isn't going to be sloshing around.
Yeah, no motion.
That's a problem,
we want it
right?
to hold. It acts as like the binding agent. I don't want to say glue, right, as we're cooking, but like it acts as what's going to hold those layers together. That's the agent that connects. All right, so what's in this?
Okay, so we're starting here with some cream cheese.
Okay.
And I tried to soften it up with my beaters before we started, and we're going to go ahead and just add some powdered sugar to this. It's a pretty simple recipe. Powdered sugar everywhere. There you go. And hopefully it's not too loud here.
The bigger the mess, the better it tastes, right?
Oh, yes. This gives me anxiety on TV to be doing this part. I'm like, oh, it's so loud.
You did bring your own beaters, though, which is actually a wise move because our beaters they have a mind of their own. So good, good thinking there.
But it just takes a minute to incorporate your powdered sugar into your cream cheese here.
Okay. And then how do we water it down?
So then I want you to go ahead and unscrew that for me. What I've done is that's my little baby bullet kind of thing. And I blended my zest and my juice together. Oh. I hope they can hear me okay over this beater. But okay, so I blended my zest and my juice together just because this is raw and we're not going to be cooking the zest, so I want to get it as small as I can.
Ready for it?
Go ahead. Okay. Just pour it all in. And I went ahead and I used my smallest grater that I could get. A lot of times I like to use my microplane zester.
To get it really fine.
Right, but this one is even smaller, so.
All right, is that it?
So we're gonna go ahead and incorporate this really well.
Anything else?
Yes, there is another thing that we're gonna add to
I just want to save time to make sure we know how to layer it.
Right. So we need to get this really well beat, that there's not lumps. Get everything, you know, if I take the time and scrape the bowl, usually. But so once this is all together, it's still pretty liquid. You see how fluid that is?
We want to stabilize it a little more.
Yeah, so it actually is going to set well because of that cream cheese.
Okay.
It's got some liquids introduced, but we're going to go ahead and combine it with our whipping cream that I made up just before the show. And the whipping cream is just my heavy cream, a little bit of powdered sugar, and vanilla. So that's super easy too. And I went ahead and I whipped this to stiff peaks. Okay. We do want stiff.
Which is a miracle to me every time. I made some to go atop a chocolate pie for Mother's Day, and every time that turns and it becomes, whipped cream, I'm always just amazed. All right, let's jump over here and start layering if we can, Kara. We've got about a minute left.
Oh, okay. So we need to layer it with this that we're making, but it comes together really fast. Okay. So what I want you to do is go ahead while I'm doing this. I want you to try to peel off one of these. Okay. Now you can make your crepes ahead of time and put them in the fridge. And then when you're ready to use them, put some plastic wrap over them and warm them back up in your microwave. They need to have a little bit of heat to be able to come back apart nicely for you.
Okay, yep.
Otherwise, they just want to stick. So it is a little bit time consuming to make sure that they come apart nicely.
And just one layer at a time. You've got me on a nice little rotator here.
Right. Yes, just one layer at a time there.
Okay.
And here we go. This is almost all folded together.
I'm going to cheat and just jump ahead, okay?
Yep, no, that's great.
All right, how much?
Okay, so you don't have to do too much. If you do too much, that's where it gets slippery and slidey.
Okay.
And just go ahead and just do it all the way around, a nice thin layer.
How long does it take you to stack up 30 layers for your crepe cake?
It takes a while. That's why I said, like, get your podcast ready.
Be patient. And we're going to just assemble here, but quickly jump us ahead. What did you put atop this? I see a beautiful berry glaze hanging out in front.
So I love to add the berry glaze that I made. It's actually a raspberry.
Ooh.
However, you do not want to put that inside because it slips.
Okay.
So I put mine on top, and you could just skip it in the decor part of it and then just like drizzle it on each piece afterwards.
Yeah, with those fresh lemon
slices. But it's so
slices.
nice to go with, yes. And I have the recipe for that raspberry sauce that I'll be sharing with you.
Okay.
As well as the recipe for the crepes and the filling.
These are delicate little guys. I mean,
good.
you do. You have to.
No,
you have to wrestle gently, very gently.
You did a great job on making it thin. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit more than what you did. So like a spoonful, maybe.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Where can we get these recipes, Kara?
So I am on Instagram at Balsamic Baker, and then we will be posting them with you.
Okay, we'll link you over, and you can go to studio5.ksl.com for the connection point. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very light and such a lovely dessert to look at and eat for the spring season. We appreciate it. Great to see you. We've got more stacking to do, more layers to come.